Hey Dylan, thanks for taking my call.
Hey Dylan, big fan of the show.
Huge fan of the show, love what you're doing.
Such a big fan of the show. I'm so glad to have a minute of your time.
Hi, Dylan. It's Gavin.
Dude, Dylan.
Look, I cannot help you. I'm sorry. It's not hard to understand, okay? So here's my thought. You would be crazy to think that. Well, welcome in to Hey Dylan. This is a very special episode. This is the end of May, which for anyone from Arizona is really it's the end of school. It's the start of summer, and there's a lot happening in the world of the DBN. The Survivor 50 cast has come out. The NBA Finals will start next week with you could argue maybe a home team for the DBN. The Lilo and Stitch movie is out. The Juan Soto experiment is underway. And with me is Richie and Shay to break it all down. So, gentlemen, welcome on this day. Shay, how's the Las Vegas Heat? And Richie, how's the Arizona Heat so far?
It's getting warm. I've been off the last week, so hasn't affected me too much. But I'll be back next week, and it'll kill me.
Richie.
It hasn't been bad here yet. I mean, we've hit like 101, but a couple days, but it hasn't stayed there. I mean, it's consistently like in the 90s. Mornings are still low 70s, which is nice. So
I think it's gonna be hot. The high on Saturday is 10. Never mind. It might rain this weekend though in Mesa.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of May gray. Anytime it's sunny out, I've tried to get outside because it's like we still get that California ugly gray stuff. But it's wild. Summer's here. Obviously, we've talked about it before. Summer doesn't hit as hard when you're an adult because it doesn't necessarily mean you got free time. Maybe you put a vacation or two. We got a good one to end the summer. That's what we know for sure. Labor Day. But the big news is Survivor 50 cast dropped yesterday morning, and we've been anticipating this for a while, Richie. I think the big shocks off the top for me was that the leaks were all pretty correct. I don't think they were incorrect at all, actually, which makes me a little disappointed that Survivor's not as buttoned up as I believe they should be. But we get the cast list. A lot of new era. Shay, you have watched a total of 100 minutes maybe of Survivor, right?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
You know nothing. So you're going to come in, and I want you to give us your blind reaction. Obviously, Richie and I, we've covered 3 full seasons of Survivor on the Dillberry Network, which is, no, 4. 4?
3 live, one rewatch.
Dude, that's a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And yeah, let's get into it. I guess Richie, overall, school's out for summer. You got a letter grade maybe for this cast.
I'd go A-, honestly. I know a lot of people were really upset with it, but I think a lot of people also wanted it to be perfect to them. You're never going to please every single person and get all 24 castaways to be what every single person wants. So I was pretty happy with it. My biggest complaint was that there was 249 contestants on there that we haven't even gotten to see yet. But apparently they did a really good job on their season because they put them on. So
yeah, apparently someone called the Riz God might be dominating TV screens for 2 full seasons of Survivor. We don't know anything about this person, but that's who's speculated to be.
I've heard the same. For what it's worth.
Yeah. Shay, what did you make of this cast? We sent you the graphic. You have it all in front of you right now. I mean, throw some names out.
Like Richie, I'm actually gonna go a little bit better. I'm gonna give it an A.
Whoa!
I'm gonna give it an A.
An A.
Right off
from
the
Shay
top.
Rio.
Right off the top. I mean, you got incredible competitors like Cyree and Q.
Dude, you just named Richie's favorite Survivor castaway, Cyree, who is Cyree. She is maybe one of the most famous reality show contestants alive in America.
Well, we can't forget about Camilla.
Camilla.
And then, I mean, just to round it out, I mean, anytime you have Coach in there, I mean, come on.
Yeah, dude. Coach is great. Shay, Camilla and Kyle on your bottom row there. They both have the same nationality.
Can I guess?
Yes, I want you to guess. where they're both from. They both connected on it last season, and they were like, "What?" You can think about it.
I'm gonna guess. That's kind of tough, actually. I'm gonna guess. Uh,
It's pretty specific.
they're both from Papua New Guinea.
They are Guyanese, man. They are
For
both
real?
Guyanese.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
yeah, they are both Guyanese. I hope you didn't Google that, man. That is
Oh
I
my god,
promise. My
that's insane.
phone is still right here.
that's hilarious. Yeah, no, Shay, good breakdown here. I would also give it an A minus. It's not perfect by any means, and I think we're gonna go through a couple snubs we have. But dude, I feel like you get a lot of classics. You get an Ozzy, a Saria coach. Those three are all like prime characters from the first 20 years of Survivor, first 20 seasons of Survivor. It's been 25 years. And but then like we jump pretty quickly into new era because I kind of even feel like, I mean, Mike White is on the cusp of new era. It was 37, 38, and maybe 36. But yeah, Mike White coming back is
Hey.
pretty big. Shay.
I have a question.
Go.
From the outsider's perspective, is Mike White in here kind of pandering a little too much?
Good question. I think absolutely, dude. I think
Yeah.
if so like this is one of those things where if you watch Mike White's season, Shay, which I would say David versus Goliath is one of the best seasons to watch if you've never watched Survivor because it has everything. Great characters, great gameplay, good twists and turns. But what you notice on day one with that one is the people on the island could barely recognize him. They're like, dude, you look so familiar because he was Ned Schneebly, Mike White, back then. And yeah, now he is the White Lotus, Mike White. And I absolutely think this is a genius move to bring him on because it'll just be great for press. I don't know that I expect Mike White to make big moves. Obviously, the big joke everyone makes is that whoever is on his tribe will be trying to get into White Lotus season 4.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone, well, not everyone, but a handful of people who were on that first season with him, he's brought to the White Lotus. One of them was a bellboy season 1. Angelina even was on the beach for opening scene, I believe, in season 2. And then, season 3, Christian was in as well. So the Mike White thing is interesting. I don't know how his game will go. He made it to the top 3 and he got 3 votes in the finale. He got second place. Was beat out by a pretty good dude who played a pretty good game. I do think it is a bit of a grab, but I love that Mike White's down because Mike White is like, dude, I'm sitting on this thing where I guess I don't know if people loved season 3 as much as they've loved it in the past, but I think this is a good natural break for Mike. Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, Shay, you were asking about Chrissy being a hero, hustler, or what is it? Heroes, healers, and hustlers, which I actually have not seen that season all the way through. I know who wins it, but Shay, that was one of the themes. And back in the day, they had brains, brawn, and beauty, which we asked Richie, would he be in brains, bronze, or beauty? Which do you think he said?
Great question.
Brains. What did Richie answer? Honestly, I don't know that I remember, and he might have a different answer today than he will tomorrow.
I'm gonna say brains.
I feel like that's what I said, but I think I said I would struggle to pick which one.
Yeah. He said he'd be brains. What do you think you'd be, Shay?
Obviously beauty.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite season themed was they did white collar, blue collar, no collar. They had finance guys, lawyers for white collar. Blue collar, there was like a mailman, like maybe a cop or something. And then no collar was like, the surfer.
Spiritist.
Yeah. It was a great theme.
I do ayahuasca on the weekends.
Yes, dudes with like long hair. Great season. But yeah, the big other thing was a lot of new era. Of course, 2 new from 49, like you said. I did hear that this is actually normal. Like when Russell Hantz came back for Heroes and Villains, no one knew Russell Hantz. So they've done this before. It's not like totally out of the question. And you kind of, this is one of those you just got to trust Survivor is going to provide and do its thing. Let's go into your snubs, Richie. You had 3 snubs.
Yeah.
I have 3 snubs. Shay, I don't know if you have any snubs for who you thought should have been on. But Richie, we'll start with
I
you.
don't.
We'll trade one apiece, and Shay, you let us know what you think of these snubs.
My first one that I would have wanted in was Carolyn. I think
Carolyn,
she did. She took her season by storm. Was probably the best
yeah,
personality on her season.
yeah.
And then she went on Traders and had a great presentation on there as well. I think she would have made for great TV for season 50.
Can we go
Who would,
like one? He goes one, I go one.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna go
Okay.
one too. Shay,
Okay.
sorry, Richie. Who would you have out in that scenario? You had to take someone
I
out.
went with the 49 girl. I think her name's like Sophie or something.
Oh, so
From
you're
the
like I'm taking
speculations.
49 out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just
Okay.
because I don't know much about her.
All right, I'll go, and then we'll go to Shay. I'm gonna go with Kelly Wentworth. I want Kelly
Yeah.
Wentworth. Kelly Wentworth. I just watched Survivor Second Chance, and she's obviously been on twice, maybe 3 times. Did she came
I
back
think
for
3
Edge
now.
of Extinction, maybe?
Yeah.
But she played a great second chance, and she's also become such a figure in the Survivor online community. Like, she makes really great TikToks and reels and whatnot. Good insights, great personality, would be good at confessions. And I am removing one of my favorite winners, but I would remove D. But only because, and I'm also going to remove Kyle, I don't understand why there are 2 winners. Like, why 2 winners?
Yeah.
You need to have more or you need to have none.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally would rather have someone like a Kelly Wentworth in there to let's bring her back. It's been so long since we brought someone back. I know we brought Kelly back before. Kelly's beloved. But yeah, I'd bring Kelly back there. Shay, who would you
Well, right off
who's
the
snubbed?
bat, when I saw the list, I was kind of wondering where Xander was.
Oh, Xander.
I just looked up a list of snubs. I don't know.
Xander. No, Xander. Xander was
That's a
from
good snub for sure.
that's millennials versus Gen X. That's a
Okay, I
wild
do have a
season,
legitimate question.
right? That might be him.
For
No, I think
someone
he's
who
talking about the
seems
new
like
era one.
for someone who seems like they have a good like post Survivor following, and I only know him because you guys have talked about it. Why isn't someone like that Tyson guy in it?
So Tyson just got cast on House of Villains, which is a different reality show. I don't really know much about that. Richie, have you seen that one?
No, I might tap into that season though.
That's a good question. Tyson is totally worthy of being on this, but he's also a winner. And so I don't know if that really was a thing. I don't understand, again, why there's just 2 winners. 2 good New Era winners, but yeah. Like another person too, I mean, I guess Richie may say it, but Boston Rob is another big name, Shay, you probably know that he's not on. And that's
Well, they called him and he declined from everything that
Right.
I've read. He was like one of the
okay.
first people they wanted on, and he
But
declined them.
I'm also cool with that. Like, I'm all right with Boston
sure.
Rob not being there. It's like he's bigger than Survivor now, and yeah, he's all like started, but he's like done home makeover shows with Mookie Betts. Like this guy's done, like he's done Deal or No Deal Island, Traders. He's done everything, and he's like pretty well known. Yeah, he was like he was at the premiere of Mission Impossible. Tom
Yeah, I
Cruise.
saw that.
Pretty nuts. Yeah. Where'd you see that?
I think DBN.
That's right. All right, let's go to your next snub, Richie.
Mine was Sydney G from season 32.
Is that
She was
Sydney with
the-
the C?
With a G. Or yes, you spell Sydney with a C, yes.
She's on this
Okay.
list.
Yeah, she was a physical therapist, so I went with her for sure. But she played a really good game. She's kind of like a challenge beast. I think she would have made a great spot on this. And I would have taken out Emily because I don't care
Emily
that people grew to like her. She was annoying as hell.
Emily Flippin. Wow. Yeah. I definitely saw a lot of love for Emily. But I don't hate that pick. Good snub. I'll go next. I have been very vocal about this pick, but I would rather have Amanda Kimmel than maybe anyone on this list. Of course, Amanda Kimmel, such an easy Survivor player to watch. I'll just say, great moves, iconic moves. There was obviously some speculation out there. She didn't want to come back because of maybe a relationship with Ozzy. Maybe she's happy, doing fine now, whatever. But I would love to see Amanda Kimmel back. That's classic Survivor I'd want back. And I'd probably get rid of Aubrey. And And Aubrey is one where maybe that's better to do Kelly and then do Aubrey because they're closer in eras.
Yeah.
But I wish I had Amanda Kimmel back. And so that's a bummer for me. That's a big snub. Shay, what's your second snub?
Johnny Fairplay.
Yes.
Ooh,
Good
yes,
answer.
Shay.
And you know about Johnny Fairplay.
Do I?
You do.
He
This
was
is
the
the
one
guy
that
who
faked his grandma's death.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Where is he?
Bro, he recently liked a DBN tweet too. Johnny Fairplay is. I bet we could get Johnny Fairplay on this podcast. I really do.
I think he did House of Villains. He might have.
He might have. Yeah, he is a great choice, Shay. I don't think he could. I think he returned and he left because he was like had it. But he has one of the most iconic moments in Survivor history.
Hey, let me ask you a question. When that happened, what was the reason he did that exactly?
So it was a family visit, which family visits like final 7, like you're coming down to it. And he was in a bad position, but he had just talked to his was it his brother or his good
I think
friend? His cousin. And he just told him, he's like, dude, no matter what, when you come out, say that grandma died. Because, dude, sympathy was a big deal in Survivor back in the day. And I mean, it's obviously still is this time around. But like it just got everyone's heartstrings, and he was no longer a target, and he made it all the way to the end. And his grandma was sitting in the live audience crowd, and they made a big deal of it. And this was like pre-social media too, so no one was really like ripping him and discovering it. This was 2003, probably 2004. But dude, Johnny Fairplay is not a bad snub. But who would you take out, Shay?
I would definitely take out Christian.
Oh, see, I don't like that, but I respect
Okay,
it.
Can I make
I don't even know.
Can I make like one observation?
Yes, please.
And this is no disrespect to Survivor fans or watchers, but why is like every guy I see who's like successful or good at this show or on here, they're kind of dweebish.
I disagree.
Get Kyle. Yeah, maybe some of these things you see. I mean, Christian is for sure.
I look at Charlie. I look at Rick. I look at
Charlie
Mike
is
White.
Obsessed with Taylor Swift. He's a dweeb for sure.
He's a dweeb for sure. But like if you watch this
Jonathan
season, you
kind
see
of
Ozzy. Oh.
Jonathan is like 6'7", 270 pounds too. You can't see it in that photo.
He
but
dragged 4 people through the water.
He's
like
a damn
50 yards.
unit. Yeah, and dude, he had a funny bit in his season where like they were all rationing their rice, and he's like twice the size of some of these like women out there, but they all get the same little cup of rice, and he's like, "This is not fair. I need more." And yeah, he's a good one to have back in that era of not many great Survivor seasons, early 40s, including Winners of War.
Before you guys continue, hand down or stake in the ground, is Survivor more about brains or brawn?
It's not about brawn for sure.
I would say probably brains if you had to pick one.
Yeah, it's more about social game.
Yeah.
Social.
So
social.
is it more social or brain? Because there's a difference between those.
Huh. I mean, it's using your brain socially is like the cheeky answer. Like, I mean, there are puzzles, I will say, like make or break these challenges. So what happens is these challenges are all super physical, but then at the end you have to put together this insane puzzle. And what we see happen time and time again is these like awesome athletes rip through the maze, the physical thing. Then they get to the puzzle and they fail, and all the weak people take their time or struggle to the end and win at the puzzle.
Makes sense.
So that's the brain element where you'd say it's brain, but also the social moves is what gets honored most too, is how can you navigate lying to people and gaining a relationship. Good question though. All right, last snub, Shay or Richie. Last snub.
I went with James from Survivor China. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think that there's a couple seasons on there where he would have made a really far run and easily could have won if he hadn't got hurt. Yeah. And I would replace him with Coach because I just don't want to see any more of Coach. I'm not a Coach guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. I'm excited about Coach. I like the James pick, but dude, James might not be. I mean, if he was already, his body was breaking down back then. He was a beast.
He's
too.
still in good shape. I saw some pictures of him.
All right. Well,
you
James
look up a picture of James, Shay, and tell me he's a dweeb.
That's
James,
true. Yeah, dude, James. Yeah. James.
Come on, I mean,
Hey, no,
Hey,
Shay. Look,
he's a grave shift digger in Louisiana.
yeah, look up like Chris Underwood Survivor.
okay, because my only thing is like when I think of Survivor, I would think guys like that would win it.
No, yeah, it's just not it. Because I mean, a lot of times, like, so Ozzy is a good example of this. Ozzy could never win at Survivor because he was so physical. Like, because they knew he'd win challenges so much. So they're like, let's get this guy out of here. Let's give us all a chance. And so all the dweebs, you could argue, do band together and get that person out. So that kind of ends up happening. I'm going to go with my final snub. I'm going to go with getting rid of Kyle to eliminate all winners. And I'm going to bring back someone who is kind of – he might be on your list, Shay. I'd be curious if he is. Malcolm. Malcolm, who has returned a couple times too. He was kind of a good young dog beast, never quite got there. He's another great example. A lot of these kind of people are like just almost got there but never quite did. So that's who I would bring in is Malcolm. Get rid of Kyle. That I don't know. There's something about 48 having 3 people too that I just don't love. I also had Angelina getting rid of because
I would have been fine with not seeing Joe too. I feel like Joe with like these old school players, it just hits that he's not going to mess with them.
Is that the Guido looking guy?
Yeah.
Joe is the one at the bottom. Joe's the one who was paired up with Eva, the girl with autism last season, who had the big scene. He was like the caretaker that him and Eva got to the end. Once they got to the end, it was like, well, you got to the end, but you didn't really do enough. And he lost, only got 1 vote in the finals. We covered that all, but yeah, no, Joe. But Joe is a great dude, and I would like to. I am curious to see him play without Eva. I am hyped about Genevieve too. Genevieve's
me too.
Genevieve is probably the lead to be cast in the White Lotus. I think Genevieve is the lock. But
my only thing with her, I think people know how much of like a conniver she is. I think she might go early just because of how much of a threat she could be.
She gets a lot of respect online.
Yeah.
All right, Shay, last snub.
I'm gonna have to go with my guy Rome.
Let's go!
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Rome Cooney, fan of the show.
Wait, really?
Yeah, fan of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's one of the 2, maybe 1 person to ever be like, bro, I've seen your podcast.
Wait, really?
He said that to me at the Survivor thing. But it's because I think all these castaways like rip through these episodes. They like watch everything. They want to know what everyone is saying about them. And so, yeah, he tapped in and like he like stopped, did like a double take at me. And I was like, oh, all right. I mean, either it was a great move, and I joked with Jacob that like you could say that to anyone in LA, and that could go well. Hey, man, I love your podcast, and they just freak out. All right, well, those are good picks. I guess before we pick a season, do we want to just pick a winner? I mean, a year from now, we'll know the winner.
Yeah.
Pick a winner. Richie, I'll let you go first.
I'm going with Tiffany.
Oh, nice, Tiffany.
Yeah, I think she plays a good enough game to where she's a threat, not too threatening. She's willing to make moves. Yep.
Yeah, I like that pick. That's like not too like you think the legends like Ozzy and Suri are pretty in trouble. I think the winners Kyle and D are in trouble. But someone like Tiffany, I think that's a good pick.
I think the 49 people are probably in trouble just because they don't. These contestants aren't going to know how they play, so they're going to probably want to get them out a little earlier.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I really hope it's Rick Devens. I am going to go with Rick Devens. I love Rick Devens. That's a season that I'm a little curious to watch back, but maybe not fully. Edge of Extinction. I love Rick Devens, and he's one of the few that's on an island here where he has. There was a map I saw online that showed who everyone played with. He's on that island, and I think that. That could be good for Survivor. Shay, who's your pick? Watch Shay be right, by the way.
I'm going to go Genevieve.
Genevieve. All right. That's a solid choice. Genevieve was one where if she was sitting at the end of her season, she would have won. So they had to take her out early. So that's a great pick. Love it. Richie, we got to watch a season this summer. Which one are you thinking of these castaways that we should rewatch, go episode by episode?
Whichever one that you haven't seen, because I've seen all of them. So I would say we pick one you haven't seen yet.
So I'm either thinking Game Changers, which is a few
I
of
like
them.
Game Changers.
Game Changers or Heroes, Hustlers.
That one might not be bad because you haven't
Heroes,
seen any
Healers,
of those players
Hustlers.
yet.
Yeah. And
Let's do that
Chrissy,
one.
dude, Chrissy's a big blind spot for me here too, and I've heard that Chrissy's could be dangerous, and so I'm down for that
sure.
one.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that? All right, we'll do
Yeah.
that. That's great. All right, coming soon. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for Survivor 50. Any other notes there? You good?
Yeah.
You feel good? All right, well that's good. Shay, give us a letter grade on how you're feeling about Juan Soto.
I'm trying to have a good weekend. We're not doing this.
All right, fine. We can pause. It's May. It's early. They got a lot of season left to disappoint you or bring you up, bring you down.
All I'm going to say is he can only get better.
Wow. Hey, that's something.
That's good.
He can't
all
get
right.
worse. So there's that.
All right, yeah.
There's my optimism.
No buyer's remorse yet, though, right?
No.
Too early for that. Too early.
Way too.
All right.
No way
Well,
too early.
For both of you, and yeah, we got a couple minutes left, so we'll kind of wrap up with this. Finals talk. I mean, right now, it's about to tip off Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to see who the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to match up with. But I guess going into the finals a week out, just winning the West, how do you guys feel? I mean, you guys have been Thunder fans since I've known you, I guess. I was born a Seattle Sonics fan, never made the conversion, just switched over to the Suns when I moved to Phoenix, so I can't claim them. But how do you guys feel, Richie?
I mean, it's something I feel like that we've almost worked hard for, talking about them for so many years. All the people at my work know that I talk about them and watch the games religiously. It's just like something that you've put so much hard work into and you see it come to fruition. It's just amazing. Shed a little tear last night when they held the trophy up. So I'm excited to see what happens in these next 4 games. It's a little scary sometimes when you're such a big favorite going into a series.
Yeah.
Because the other team has nothing to lose almost at some point. So got to make sure they play how they play and do what they do.
Yeah. Shay.
It's exciting, man. They're really good, and like to see how good they are is kind of scary because, like Richie said, anytime you're such a big favorite, like I said it, I told Richie before the Timberwolves series, like, dude, I don't something about this Timberwolves team scares me, and then there was nothing they did that worried me ever. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
I think just like until they win it, like it'll be like a deep breath type of thing. But they're good, man, and they have 20 picks over the next 5 drafts.
Yep.
I mean they can't. I mean if they win it all this year, they're gonna have everything at their fingertips. So I think just getting one out of the way because so many times you see so many of these teams with hype and promise and this and that, and then they never win one. So for them to win one like right away is going to be like huge, like get that monkey off your back type of thing already.
For sure.
And then they're playing with house money the next 8 years.
Yeah. Because who is set to, I mean, I know it's early, but like who is set to get a bag and leave maybe? And who is set, like, do you guys know that? Like, who is more than likely won't be here next year? So it's like, dude, let's.
All players are under contract next year, so the whole team will be back next year.
Crazy. That's insane.
So what? Chet and Jalen, their rookie deals end at the same time?
I think so, yeah. 2 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so their rookie deals will end, and then
I think SGA can extend this offseason if he wants to, or wait another season and make it even more. It's all going to come down, I think, to what he does money-wise.
I know we talked about it, but I could see Lou Dort being the odd man out money-wise.
Whoa.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to pay him, Caruso, and Case and Wallace to do the same thing, essentially. Because eventually Case and Wallace is going to get paid, and if he don't get paid, someone else is going to pay him.
Yeah.
Just based off this playoff run. So we'll see. I mean, these second apron things, CJ McCollum has ruined the NBA in that sense because he's the one who's implemented all these aprons and CBA rules and all that, and it's just kind of garbage at the end of the day. But I guess it is what it is.
Yeah.
It screws the teams that did it the right way.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
So like it's not going to be like the reason the Warriors signed KD that summer is because there was an abnormal cap spike that summer, so that allowed them to like that ain't going to happen for a long time. So
Yeah.
you just gotta kind of deal with what you got.
Yeah. As you see the East shaping up, I mean, it seems like it's going to be the Pacers. It would take a crazy thing for it to be the Knicks. How do you see that matchup going? Because the Pacers, I mean, have been counted out the entire way, and they haven't played a team like OKC, which I would agree with. But they
I'm
beat a really
tired
good.
of them.
It's crazy how they've hung around. They
beat an injured Bucks team, and they beat an injured Cavs team, and I mean the Knicks do this every
I
year.
just don't think the Knicks are good enough.
Hmm.
Right? Like I don't.
The
Like
Knicks
okay,
play
the Knicks.
6 guys a game. They're tired.
The Knicks are up 10 right now, right?
Yeah,
The Knicks are up 10. If they win, it's going to go back to Indiana for Game 6. Then Indiana has all the pressure in the world on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because if they don't win, it's come back to New York for Game 7. So,
nuts.
I think if the Knicks win tonight, I'm going to give them a 25% chance to win the series.
Well,
that's probably that's higher than most, but
so I mean, if the Knicks run the table and win this series, do they scare you more than if the Pacers win tonight?
no,
the
Pacers do.
Pacers,
because the Pacers can run and they're athletic enough and
they
they're
can
deep
shoot
enough.
if they're open.
Yeah, and they're deep. The Knicks aren't.
Yeah, and dude, Rick Carlisle, man,
he's a hell of a coach.
Hell of a coach. I don't know. We'll see it shape out. I think the finals. I'm curious what those ratings are going to be if it's Pacers Thunder.
Boy.
I worry, but I also, I mean, and especially if it's blowouts too. Like, you just got to enjoy it, you know. I mean, it's a ring's a ring, no matter how competitive. It would have been cool if this was a healthy Celtics, a healthy Thunder matchup, which was kind of what it was looking like. But you know, that's just
also
not always
was
how
like
these playoffs
talked
go.
about all year how it was the most competitive, the toughest the West has been in ages. And then now all of a sudden everyone wants to say it was a cakewalk for the Thunder,
Exactly.
just because they were that much better than these other teams.
Yeah, I heard someone talk about how, I heard someone praising Jokic today, just being like, man, he like the way that he kept his team in against this Thunder, like no one has been able to do that, just to stay in it for as long as they did. It's pretty cool. It's crazy. The NBA season's coming to an end. That we're probably only a couple weeks away. But we'll see. We'll come back. We'll recap it all here on the DBN. Thanks so much for being on, guys.
Thank you
Let's
for
make it a
having
good
me.
summer.
Thank you.
Let's make it a good June. Richie, a couple weeks away from 30.
Hey, we're close.
Shay, you got any advice for the 20-year-old in the chat?
Live tomorrow like every day is my promise.
Whoa.
Live today like every day. I don't know.
Dude, you insane today, man.
No.
He dropped his. All right, we're ending with that. We'll see you next time.